Hey guys, Mustang here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so today I wanted to talk about the two EZA'S that are for sure upcoming for Global. And then there's also one that hasn't actually been announced yet, but is potentially coming. I'm not sure if it's going to be coming in part 2. We'll have to see how exactly this compares to the JP celebration, but we do know here, listed on the wiki, you can see at the time of recording, it's a couple of days away. This comes out on Wednesday night or Thursday morning if you're in the UK, like me, and that is the EZA for the free-to-play Saiyan 1 and 2, as well as the EZA for Tech Pycon. And there's a couple of ways that you can get prepared for these ahead of time if you want to, and that is what we are going to go through here. So we'll start off with the Saiyan 1 and 2. Their EZA is definitely very good. They're probably one of the best free-to-play leads, although they do have the same restriction that they had before, same as the Tech Vegito Blue and the STR Rose, where you do have to include a unit of each color. But then they have a 130 to stats and 3 key leader skill, which is very good. Especially because pre-EZA, they didn't even give key in their leader skill. And so that benefits not only like if you have to use them as a leader, because they are a solid option for a free-to-play, they do still give key support in their passive. So they become very, very good for building a team around. So their 12 key raises attack and defense for 1 turn, colossal damage, and seals super attacks. The Ultra Super is raises attack and defense, mega colossal damage to the enemy, and raises super class allies attack by 30% for 2 turns. So this is really good, because even if you just want to use them on a team as a third slot floating support unit, they're able to boost the attack of the units on the next rotation, which is really good. So, post-EZA, they have attack and defense 70%, super class allies key +4 and defense 50%. So, I mean, that's very, very good support. 50% defense and that 4 key. They also get an additional 58% attack and launch an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super when attacking extreme class enemies, and they give extreme class enemies defense -70%. So very, very good. Their 12 key super does seal, so in things like Super Battle Road you can obviously deliberately try and go for the 12 key super to get that seal off and prevent yourself being super attacked. And obviously the fact that they have the chance to additional in their passive if you're fighting an extreme class enemy. If you give them a decent amount of additional in their hidden potential, then you can always go for the strategy of just going for the 18 key super and hoping to additional into the 12 key. Obviously in Super Battle Road, probably don't want to risk that in certain situations and just go for the 12 key anyway, but this gives them a little bit of extra utility that you can play around depending on how you want to use them in that situation. And like I said, the boost from their 18 key super is really, really good, even if you're just using them in slot 3, because they're still boosting the next rotation, and 30% extra attack going into the next rotation that might, is probably going to be another solid 2 units put together, maybe even with a support unit in slot 3, and then they're getting this extra buff from the previous turn. So very, very good. Obviously they are a free-to-play unit. You get them from the friend summon, so they EZA via an Extreme Z area. This is tied into the Hero Extermination EZAs, so obviously a lot of this is going to depend on whether you've been keeping up with all of these that have been coming out. Now, obviously, looking at the information on the wiki, we are actually getting the EZA for them slightly earlier in the schedule, I think, than JP, because as you can see here, the characters that it shows that you can use for this event, a couple of these guys don't actually have their EZAs on Global. In fact, we should be due. It's the Super Saiyan 2 GT Goku, there's the Marjube, there's the physical Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, I think the physical Vegeta and this STR Vegeta don't have theirs yet. I'd have to double check, but yeah, those are not out on Global currently. So as long as you've been keeping up with the Hero Extermination area EZAs, then you shouldn't have a problem making the team that you require to do this Extreme Z area. A lot of these units like Majin Vegeta, Piccolo, like they all once fully EZA'd have all types leader skills, so it's very easy to build a team around them. It'll be interesting to see actually though, because in the event they give you an Extreme Z Awakened physical Gohan as the friend lead. So I'm assuming that that's going to have to change for Global, because the data for this guy's EZA wasn't in the files, which means unless they're just dropping him out of nowhere, maybe if we get a data download just before, they suddenly add this guy in, because Yeah, on the JP version, they let you use him as a friend, but obviously on Global, he's not going to have his EZA. So kind of be interesting to see what they do for that. So all you can really do to prepare for this is make sure you have these guys done. If you've been keeping up to date with the Hero Extermination Extreme Z areas, you will have a team that you can run in this event anyway. It's not like a Prime Battle LR EZA. They don't have to be fully EZA'd and like Rainbow and everything. So that you can get around it that way. And then if you want to be ultra super prepared, obviously because these guys are a friend LR, technically you could pull on the friend banner until you get 5 copies of them, feed them together, awaken them all the way up to LR, and then have that free one ready to train in for the SA25. That is a huge pain to go through if you haven't done it already. It's not. I mean, you probably could smash it out in like 2 days if you really focus on it, but probably a little bit too much to take on for some people. Obviously, because this isn't a typical 30-stage EZA, you don't get the physical Kais for completing it, so you do have to use Kais from your own resource pool. But we have been getting quite a few of them recently. We didn't have the physical cooler EZA all that long ago, so maybe you still have some left over from that. But definitely a long process if you are starting from scratch to do the free SA5. So then next up we have the Tech Pycon. So Tech Pycon becomes reasonably good after his EZA, nothing too crazy. I'll do a showcase for him post EZA, but I haven't even, you know, unlike a lot of the other units that I'm super hyped for when they get their EZA, I've already been pre-link leveling them for when the EZAs come to Global. But I haven't done this guy because he does supreme damage to the enemy, greatly lowers attack and defense on Super. So greatly lowering attack is definitely useful for things like Super Battle Road. And then his passive is attack 81% plus an additional attack and defense 98% when attacking. So he's got no defense in slot 1, essentially. And, well, obviously, unless he attacks in slot 1, then the following attacks you get. But you know what I mean. The attacks right at the very beginning of the turn. He's got no defense, so he's not a slot 1 unit. He gets Ki +3 when facing only one enemy, and then Otherworld Warriors category allies defense +40%. So he's a defensive support for Otherworld Warriors, but the problem is, I mean, Pycon doesn't have the best links with a lot of the more popular characters to use. Obviously, he does have things like Experienced Fighters, Fierce Battle, Shocking Speed, which are not too bad, but things like Tough as Nails, Gentleman, like, not many other units have those. And he's only on Worthy Rivals, Otherworld Warriors, Saviors, Battle of Wits, and Storied Figures, which are not exactly... I mean, you think about the Saviors, which is basically Hybrid Saiyans, and then some Saviors if you want. Like, these teams, he just doesn't really have a slot. I'm kind of surprised that they went so, like, middle of the road with his EZA. I feel like he's one of those units where they really should have given him, like, a very strong EZA, so you actually would have a reason to want to run him. Because honestly, even post EZA, I can't really imagine a huge amount of use for this guy. But one thing you can, of course, do if you want to get prepared early on is he Extreme Z awakens from the Int Super Gogeta Extreme Z battle, which, if you've checked the news for the celebration info, that will be coming out when the EZA releases. And of course, when you replay these Extreme Z battles, you do have to use stamina to replay the stages, but if you want to do it now, you are able to use the Extreme Z keys through the Portal of Memories. I talked about this in a recent video when I went over this with the Sin Shenron EZA. For me personally, I don't think I've ever used those Extreme Z like keys for anything. I don't usually play, you know, EZAs when they're not out, because I do the EZAs when they first come out, and then that's kind of it. So now that we're getting these sub-EZAs more, where you use these medals from already done events, you can go back and use those keys, because the different keys that are for different events, the Extreme Z battle ones are only used for them. So if you've never really used them to do old EZAs that aren't available at the time, then you won't have ever used any of them. So it's definitely worth using them rather than on Wednesday night / Thursday morning, depending where you are. When the EZA actually comes back as an active event, then you can't use keys and you have to use your stamina. So there's no other way to get around it, and you have to spend a bunch of stamina. And obviously on Global at the moment, we have the 4x rank XP and the half time to restore boosts. So now's the perfect time to be link leveling and stuff like that, so you don't really want to waste your stamina on doing EZA stages, especially for Pycon, considering, like, I mean, I want to get him done and try him out, because obviously just for collection purposes. I'm not going to not EZA him, but for a lot of people, I don't imagine that he's going to be a massive priority. And of course, the Gogeta Extreme Z battle, the weakness is movie bosses. You have to use a mostly physical and int team. So, I mean, you know, Cooler got his EZA recently on Global. So if you have all these guys down here, apart from the Large and Ember, you can easily just make a full physical team. Or obviously, there's a lot of int units, like the new int Broly. He wasn't out when this EZA first came out, and he is a movie boss's leader. So it's very easy to make a team. I mean, this Broly or the EZA Cooler probably just take out Gogeta by himself, even on like stage 30, to get those last medals, because you have to play stage 30. You need 12 of the bronze medals, 20 silver, 12 gold, and 12 rainbow. For doing the harder stages, you get like 4 of each of these ones. And I think the highest stage for bronze, you only get 2, so you have to do it quite a few times. But either the int Broly or the Cooler should be able to just absolutely destroy Gogeta, basically by themselves. And then, yeah, that brings us to the final one that I mentioned briefly at the beginning, and this is the Angel Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So on JP, he got his EZA at the same time as these other units, but of course, there was no announcement in the news that he was going to be getting his for Global. So I'm assuming that he's going to be getting his in Part 2, which is obviously not going to start for a good, like, week or two from now. The way November seems to be shaping up is much like last year. Heroes is going to drop technically as its own celebration, but like right in the middle of what's going on with the Gogeta celebration. And then the Gogeta celebration, like part 2, is going to start, that potentially has the Large and Ember coming to Global, and then that's going to have this EZA. There's a couple of other EZAs like those ones from the Hero Extermination, the Marjube and the AGL Super Saiyan 2 Goku. Who knows, maybe then we'll finally get the Super Battle Road stages as well. But bear in mind that this is something around the corner. And I deliberately put this video up today because it is the tech event day. So obviously if you want to get ready for the Goku, if you have like a second copy that you've got at SA5 that you've built up, one of the things I always forget to do is I have that second copy and then I forget to actually farm the 77 medals to awaken them so I can actually feed them in. So obviously if you need to do that, today is the day that you're able to do so. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have a farmable super attack. There is the physical Super Saiyan 2 Angel Goku in the barbershop that awakens into Super Saiyan 3, and now you can buy infinite copies of those barbershop units. But the problem is, because you have to awaken that guy, he uses medals from this Goku's event. And then because this Goku, when he's EZA'd and you want those extra 5 SA levels, he's already a TUR. So the physical one, even fully awakened at UR, is only going to be a 50% chance to raise his SA. So you potentially have to farm up, like, you think about the number of times, if you farm up those physical guys, they need 35 of the medals from this event each time. And then you only have a 50% chance that they're actually going to put up his SA. So for every one of them that doesn't work, that's like 5 runs on that Dokkan event that you did for basically no reason. So I think the best bet for this guy is just to use the free Kais, because you get 11 tech Kais from doing his EZA. So you probably just want to use the 5 on him to get into SA15, because he doesn't really have a way to farm his super attack, unfortunately. So there you go. The EZAs coming to Global in 2 days' time. There's a bunch of stuff you can pre-farm and get ready for if you need to, or obviously you can just wait for it to drop when the events will all be live, and you can just use stamina to get the Gogeta medals. Let me know what you guys think down below. Are you excited for these EZAs? I definitely think the Saiyan 1 and 2 are a super strong addition to all of these teams that they're on, and of course they are a free-to-play unit. Obviously Pycon, if you're a newer player, you might not even have him at all. If you're someone who's been playing it for ages like me, then obviously you've already got him rainbowed and you don't really ever use him, so his EZA might give you some use, even if it is just to test out what he's going to be like now. But unfortunately, I think they didn't quite go far enough with this guy. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.